So the Xbox Series X is finally here. I thought I'd do a video where I unbox it, see what's going on inside, and then test out the thing, showing some footage in 4K, 60 FPS, testing out quick resume, and then giving my thoughts on it. This video is probably going to cause my computer to burn itself to the ground while I'm rendering it, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. So, let's do it. But before all that, this video is brought to you by the Ridge wallet. Is your old wallet falling apart, unnecessarily big, old? Well, Ridge has got you covered. It holds up to 12 cards with a clip for cash on the back, and there's over 30 colors. You got your carbon fiber, you've got your burnt titanium, you've got your forged carbon, anything you want. Personally, I went with the matte black because I like the sleek and simple look. It's incredibly durable, and each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty, so effectively you could use the same wallet for the rest of your life. And they also provide a service that allows you to test drive for 45 days, so if you aren't happy, you can send it back for a full refund, so it can't even hurt to give one a go. There's a reason they have over 30,000 5-star reviews though. And on top of that, don't forget the RFID blocking technology, which protects against digital pickpocketing, which is a huge benefit. If you're interested, head to my link in the description, ridge.com/lasers, and use code lasers for 10% off at the checkout. That's ridge.com/lasers and using code lasers for 10% off. So boys and girls, here it is. We've got it right here, the Xbox Series X. It's weird, it's been so long since we've had, you know, proper new next-gen consoles. And I remember I did actually do an unboxing. I'm going to put this down, it's heavy. I remember I did actually do an unboxing of the Xbox One when it first came out with George. We both did it. It was a mess. And if you want to watch it, I guess I'll link it because I've talked about it now. But we're going to open this thing up and we're going to see what's inside. And don't worry, I'll give you a good view of it. I'm going to get some other angles. I'm a professional YouTuber. Alright, let's open this bad boy up, shall we? Let's see. Alright, first things first is the Xbox itself with a nice little sleeve on it, as well as being in its little protective packaging. I reckon we'll get this bad boy out. Woo! Look at that bad boy. Ooh. That is pretty fucking nice. And so here it is, boys, the Xbox Series X. I'm sure I'll have some nice shots of this while I'm showing you it. The top looks fucking sick. That's so cool, the way they do that effect. Like, oh, wow, that's actually incredible. I'll try and get some good shots of that, but that's... Whew. Look at that. That's so sick. Oh, wow. It's... honestly, I kind of expected it to be bigger. I'm not going to lie. I expected it to kind of be a big, fat thing, but it's quite a nice sort of size. It's like, you know, the sort of size of my hand. I have small girl hands, so it's even smaller than you probably might think. Obviously, we've got the stand on the bottom, which now has my fingerprints on it, as well as the stands on the side here, which obviously could be the bottom of it, depending on which way you want to have it. I think I'm going to stand it up, but there you go. And then on the back, we've got the two USB slots. We've obviously got the Ethernet, power, storage expansion, which obviously you can place a card into, as well as the HDMI ports. As well, obviously, of course, the console comes with a power cord and a HDMI cable, as expected. And obviously, the next thing that is on everybody's mind, the controller. You know, part of every new console that comes out. I don't think I'm going to have a lot to say about this, considering it's not as big of a change as the DualSense, but we'll take a look and see what it looks like. Well, it definitely feels different. You've got a textured back on there, so the back of the controller is all textured differently, so that's going to help with sort of grip. I quite like that. It's also smaller, I believe, than the regular Xbox One controller. Yeah, definitely smaller. I'll get some comparison shots for you. It's definitely smaller. I think it's just shaped a little bit better. And then, of course, you've got, like, textured triggers, as well as the LB and RB having little bits of, like, I guess, texturing on there as well. I like the kind of matte finish of it. I think that's quite nice. And the fact they no longer have the dip in, maybe that's a bit more simplistic of a style. I kind of prefer that kind of like top sort of chiseled look of the Xbox One X controller, but I think that overall it's probably improvements on the controller. It feels a lot better. It feels better to hold. It feels like, yeah, I'm feeling that a lot more. Also, the D-pad, that is really fucking cool. That is really fucking cool. And obviously, they've now added a share button, which is huge, and that's fantastic. Of course, the thing still uses batteries, which, you know, in 2020, while we still got battery-powered controllers, I don't really know. Microsoft maybe sort it out. Beyond that, really nice controller actually, and triggers feel good. Like I like the grips on them, and that feels, yeah, I'm liking that. I think it's somewhat of a hybrid between the regular sort of Xbox One controller and then the Elite controller, which I don't have. I was planning on getting one, but then it was so close to the Xbox Series X coming out that I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait and get a new controller, and this will be fine for me. But it does feel like a hybrid of the two, and I'm a big fan. I think it's a good working controller. They've made improvements where necessary. It's not a huge departure. It's not a huge difference. Didn't really need to be. Obviously, Sony are going above and beyond with their features, and I think that's going to be incredible, and I can't wait to eventually unbox the PlayStation 5. But as controllers go, probably the best one Xbox have done, other than the Elite, which I haven't used. That could be better still, but I can't say because I've never used it. I'm not a huge controller guy. I can't just pick up a controller and fucking play a game, you know? It's any controller works for me, to be honest. That's what true gamers believe. But it's nice. Overall, the console itself, I think, is really nice. I think it looks great. I can't wait to get this thing plugged in and check it out. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in. I'll get some games installed, and then we'll be back with the test of what does it feel like to switch between games? How do games run? How quickly do they load? We'll find out. We'll do the tests. Nice. Setting up the Xbox Series X was incredibly easy. I went through the settings, and as it was installing the console and controller updates, I actually was able to set up my console fully using the app, the Xbox app, which links then to your console. Once I got into the console, it had all of my settings saved from my Xbox One X, and so it felt like I was right back at home. It's almost like taking your Xbox One X or your Xbox One and putting it on new hardware. I understand what Xbox are doing. It allows for people to easily access the new generation of Xbox without feeling like they're making this huge leap. All of their things are in the same place. The interfaces are the same, and it feels like you're using the same system that just has a lot more power to it. A lot of people, of course, prefer the way that PlayStation are doing it, where they're really defining a generation with new controller, new UI. Everything is new for the PlayStation 5, whereas Xbox, I think it's all about accessibility, and it's really a matter of perspective and a matter of preference as to which you prefer. But I do have to say, I do like what Xbox are doing, despite really liking what PlayStation are doing as well. It's nice that both exist in the same space together. Of course, one of the biggest things that Xbox has is Game Pass. And on Xbox Series X, of course, you can access the Game Pass library that has tons of games. You can actually sort by console type, and so you can see which ones are optimized for Xbox Series X. Of course, anything that's not optimized will still get benefits from the extra power, but anything that is optimized will run a hell of a lot better, and you'll see a hell of a lot more improvements on. As well, EA Play is now also part of Game Pass Ultimate, and so you get access to all of EA's EA Play, Xbox One, and Xbox 360 games, which is insane to me. The value for money you're getting now from your Game Pass Ultimate subscription is second to none in the games industry, and I am continuously blown away with the way that Xbox are able to provide for their player base. I quickly, of course, reinstalled some games here and there, new and old, so that we could test out some of the load times and quick resume. So next, I decided to test the load times of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, comparing the Series X to the Xbox One X, and I have to say, I was genuinely very, very surprised at how much quicker the Series X loads this game. It goes to show when games are optimized for this platform, the load times are incredibly fast. After this, I'll show you a comparison of one that's not optimized for the Series X, being the Master Chief Collection, and still, there are some improvements in that one as well, but just take a look at this. It is insane how much faster it loads, and how much better it looks as well. That is some serious power.
Yes, the fog cleared suddenly. I can speak of what I've seen, but I felt pulled away.
Say nothing of it now. Return to this another time.
I will, when I'm ready. Yes, the fog.
And now looking at the Master Chief Collection, the difference is nowhere near as drastic as it is with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game which is optimized for the Xbox Series X, but you can see that even on a game that is not optimized for the Series X and runs relatively the same and has no patches for next gen, it still has an edge for Series X, and I can only imagine when they do put out eventual Series X patches for things like Halo, we're going to be seeing a much larger difference in these load times. But even still, you can see you're on the menu way quicker, you're loading into the mission way quicker, and you're able to play so much quicker than you are on the regular Xbox One X, which just shows you the edge that this has, and Valhalla really shows you the edge that you get once you have that optimization for the next gen platforms. But it's just cool to see both and be able to compare them with each other.
Can't fly over the wall. We'll go right through it. Chief, take one of the tanks. Lead the way. If you find any locked doors, Spark will be happy to pry them open.
I will certainly try my best. Will I unload you with this facility?
All right then, you heard the lady. Hey, how does 90mm and tungsten strike you?
And just showing some of the quick resume now, here we are playing Halo Master Chief Collection on the Ark, and then if we want to, we can switch out, load up Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and within a matter of literally seconds, we are in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, playing that game, running it at 4K 60 frames a second, and that's pretty insane that you can do this with multiple games going at once. It's not without its problems though, which I'm sure will be patched in the days, weeks, and months to come. I switched from Assassin's Creed Valhalla to Sonic Adventure 2, which worked perfectly fine. But then when I decided to go out of Sonic Adventure 2 and load into Mirror's Edge, it actually crashed and caused the games to close. Assassin's Creed Valhalla remained open, but Sonic Adventure 2 and Mirror's Edge both crashed. I don't know whether that's because they're both Xbox 360 games, and so Quick Resume is a little bit more fiddly with those, whereas with Xbox One games, ones that aren't backwards compatible in the same sense, that aren't running through an Xbox 360 emulator, potentially maybe they work better. Maybe Xbox will work on this, but as of now, there are a few issues there when trying to do that. And then just to show Quick Resume running at its absolute best here, I was playing Sonic Adventure 2. I then decided to switch out to the Ezio collection and load into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which happened within a matter of seconds. We were in that game, we were able to explore, perform a leap of faith, which was great. It was very quick. After that, I decided to load out of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and load back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which again happened in an instant, which meant we had 3 games running at once, all able to perform very, very well. And then I switched out of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and went back to the Master Chief Collection, back onto our mission in Halo 3 on the Ark. Again, a matter of seconds, and we were straight back into the game, exactly where we left it earlier on in this video. So it's actually pretty crazy as a feature that we're able to do this, and that the games are able to run so well, remember where they are. Like, it's incredibly powerful, the fact that we're running these games, you know, a lot of them, the ones that are optimized 4K 60, we're able to have so many on the go at once, switch between them on the fly, they load incredibly quick. It's just insane. This truly is the power of the next generation of consoles, and a lot of people are obviously going to be looking into, well, what does next gen do? The leap doesn't look as big as it did from, say, the 360 to the Xbox One or PS3 to PlayStation 4 in terms of, you know, visual fidelity, which maybe not, but this has a lot of background things and a lot of things that are going to really improve games. When you're looking at things like ray tracing, when you're looking at the way they had the worlds handle lighting, the amount of things you can have on screen at once, the particle effects, the load times being reduced significantly, draw distances, boot up times of games, and being able to do this quick resume feature. There's a lot of benefits here when it comes to next gen, and it's actually incredible. I'm blown away by a lot of this, and it's night and day between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. There are so many more quality of life things, and it truly is incredible to see this firsthand. And that is it for my unboxing of the Xbox Series X. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the Xbox Series X. Is it a console you're thinking of picking up? Are you on the fence with consoles? Are you going with a PS5? Let me know your thoughts on next gen in general. I'd love to hear down in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for something new. Alright, see you later, boys. Bye-bye.